This is the Ellis Martin Report, and you're listening to Money Talk Radio. Today I want to spend a few minutes talking about something that has moved very quickly from interesting to strategically important in the world of critical minerals, and that is antimony. We've discussed this on the program before. More specifically, I'd like to again talk about Red Mountain Mining Limited. That's Red Mountain Mining Limited, trading on the ASX under the symbol RMX, and in the United States on the OTCQB as RMXFF, and its newly acquired Thompson Falls high-grade antimony project. Now, antimony isn't a metal most investors talked about 5 or 10 years ago. It was often treated as a nuisance, something you dealt with after the fact. That world is gone. It is. Antimony today is a designated critical minerals in both the United States and Australia. It is essential for defense applications, energy infrastructure, fire retardants, alloys, and increasingly for technologies tied to electrification and national security. And the problem is simple. The West doesn't have enough of it. Here's where Red Mountain enters the picture. Red Mountain has just acquired the Thompson Falls Antimony project located on the Montana-Idaho border. And this location matters a lot. The project sits just over 4 kilometers from the only operating antimony smelter in the United States, owned by United States Antimony Corporation, which trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol UAMY. That single fact alone changes the conversation. The Thompson Falls project is adjacent to UAMY's Stibnite Hill mine, the second largest known stibnite vein system in the United States, where mining has restarted in response to severe domestic supply shortages. This isn't theory. This is active mining, active smelting, and active demand right next door. Red Mountain just didn't acquire ground. It acquired ground with history. Within the project area, Red Mountain has already identified 3 historical underground mines and an open pit, all verified on the ground, and the initial assay results coming back from the first pass sampling are frankly exceptional. We're talking about antimony grades up to 36.5% with associated gold values. Let me repeat that. 36.5% antimony. That's not a rounding error. That's high-grade material in a metal that is now strategically constrained. Additional samples returned 20% antimony and 13.7% antimony, again with gold credits. These are surface and dump samples, early-stage work, but they clearly demonstrate that antimony mineralization is present, robust, and high-grade. Now add another layer. This project sits at the eastern end of Idaho's Coeur d'Alene Mineral District, one of the most prolific mineral belts in North American history. This district alone has produced roughly 18% of total U.S. silver production, over 1.25 billion ounces, along with lead, zinc, gold, copper, and yes, antimony. Historically, antimony in this district was often ignored or underreported. Today, it's front and center, and timing matters. Just this week, the U.S. government announced a $12 billion strategic mineral stockpile initiative aimed at securing domestic and allied supply chains for critical materials. Antimony is on that list. Silver is on that list. Red Mountain's Thompson Falls project is exposed to both, and it sits within trucking distance of the only U.S. antimony smelter. That is not coincidence. That is positioning. Red Mountain is not a one-asset story either. The Thompson Falls acquisition strengthens a broader U.S. and Australian critical minerals platform, including antimony projects in Utah and Idaho, and the Armadale Antimony Gold Project in New South Wales, where drilling is expected in the first half of this year. What I find particularly compelling here is that Red Mountain is building a Western-aligned antimony footprint in jurisdictions that matter at a time when supply security is no longer optional. We're seeing China restrict exports. We're seeing defense agencies and governments reassess vulnerabilities. And we're seeing smelter operators like UAMY actively seeking nearby high-grade feedstock. That's the backdrop. Red Mountain has already commenced field work at Thompson Falls, geological mapping, sampling, and evaluation of historic underground workings. Additional assay results are expected this quarter, and the company is moving quickly to define follow-up targets. This is early-stage exploration, yes, but it's early-stage exploration with infrastructure, history, grade, and strategic relevance already in place. For investors looking at critical minerals beyond the usual lithium-copper narrative, antimony is no longer obscure. It's essential, and companies positioned near processing, near demand, and inside allied jurisdictions deserve attention. Red Mountain Mining is one of those companies. Again, the stock symbols are on the ASX, RMX, and in the U.S. on the OTCQB, RMXFF. That's RMX and RMXFF. You're listening to the Ellis Martin Report on Money Talk Radio. The Ellis Martin Report and Money Talk Radio are paid media platforms. Ellis Martin may receive compensation from companies mentioned on this program, including Red Mountain Mining Limited. The content is provided for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice. Investors are encouraged to conduct their own due diligence and consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions.